challenges in the state if elected president in 2023. He also said Governor Nasir El-Rufai has done well in the state, urging the people to vote for APC candidates in Kaduna and other states for the elections. Tinubu was at the rally alongside his running mate, Kashim Shettima, the APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, and governors from the Northwest and other parts of the country, including Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna, Aminu Mazare of Katsina, Bello Matawale of Zamfara, Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano, and Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa states.
Inshallah, all those troublemakers, violent kidnappers, killers, I assure you, we will eliminate them. El-Rufai has done a good job. Go around Kaduna, you see how organized, how clean, and he has moved internally generated revenue up. Every member of our party, no other party, Senator, APC, House of Rep, House of Assembly, Council Self. If you find him there, Chairman, APC, Governor, President, Jagaba.
On the other side, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has promised to restore peace in Plateau State if elected president in 2023. Atiku gave the promise at the PDP presidential campaign at the Township Stadium in Jos. While addressing the supporters, the former vice president promised to construct roads that connect different states to Jos and revamp the economy of the state due to its importance to the north-central zone of the country.
That we will restore peace in this state. We will also revamp the economy of this state. We will also make we will restore peace in this state. We will also revamp the economy of this state. We will also make sure this state is connected to the neighboring states as far as the road infrastructures are concerned. We promise, because you are a PDP state, we promise we will make sure these roads are rehabilitated. We will revamp the economy. We will bring about peace and prosperity, particularly to our young men and women.
And now let's take a short break, and when we return, it will be time to speak with the advisor on media, communications and public affairs to the Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Dele Alake, on allegation of bullying of the free press. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am now joined by the advisor on media, communications and public affairs to the Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Dele Alake. Alake, a journalist, activist, technocrat, and one of the heroes of Nigeria's democracy, is a former commissioner for information and strategy in Lagos State between 1999 and 2007 during the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was also a communication advisor and confidant of the late MKO Abiola, the winner of the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election. In 2014, Alake was appointed the Director of Media and Communication of the Buhari Campaign Organization, which worked for the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the 2015 presidential election. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You and your colleague, Bayo Onanuga, have been accused of stifling the free press. As top professionals, tell me, what is the cause of this issue? What really went wrong?
Well, from our side, nothing was amiss. Nothing went wrong. The people who made that, what I will refer to as very insidious allegation and very silly one at that, was the Arise TV and This Day newspaper group and their chairman, Nduka Obagbena. Now, with all sense of responsibility, and as we said in our response, Nduka Obagbena and his media group are the last people who should accuse anybody of wanting to silence or cow the independent press, or the press at all for that matter. Why? Simply because the antecedents of Bayo Onanuga and my humble self, Dele Alake, and the antecedent of Nduka Obagbena, the owner or chairman of This Day and Arise Group, attest to the facts of who has or have been involved in muffling not just the press, but working directly against the growth of democracy in Nigeria. And the facts are there. Why Bayo Onanuga and I have been on the right side of history of democratic struggle in this country. And one of the most potent tool of this democratic struggle has been the press, the media, of which we were an integral part and actively involved. While Nduka Obagbena and his group have been actively playing on the wrong side of the democratic history of Nigeria. These are facts. These are not allegations. These are facts. And we said so in our response. So for that kind of a man or a group with such despicable historical background in terms of our democratic journey, to now accuse those of us who had acquitted ourselves creditably in the effort and in the pursuit of independence of the media and the active pursuit of our democratic struggle in this country is honestly taking blackmail to a very, very despicable dimension. And that's what happened. And because Nduka Obagbena is known for his penchant for blackmail, and we said so in our response. What is our offense? Our offense is simply that we have not played along with him in coercing our candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to attend any of these trumped, prearranged, PDP-sponsored town hall meetings that is masquerading, that they are masquerading as independent debates or town halls or whatever. But those who are informed, who are well informed, know that it's just a charade. In any case, we were the first. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the first to initiate this town hall meeting in this current dispensation, in this political dispensation, in this campaign period. By the Lagos event, when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu met with the Nigerian business elite community
at the Eko Hotel in Lagos. Nduka Baigbina himself attended that event, even though uninvited. But he attended. And in fact, the very following day, after that successful business community town hall meeting by the APC presidential candidate, Reuben Abati, on their program, on their morning program on Arise, did praise Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's initiative and said that Tinubu's strategies were doing a fantastic job, to show you how they were the ones that envied the initiative of the town hall meeting. And peremptorily, after that, Nduka came up with his own town hall meetings. So who is the copycat here? Well, we were not angry, because if you are doing well and you have a very sincere purpose, then you will not mind being copied. And it's only the best that is being copied. So we didn't mind being copied by Nduka or Baigbina with his own town hall meetings. But the difference here is that his own town hall meeting is a PDP-sponsored town hall meeting. He brought in and cajoled and corralled other media organizations to give it a semblance of a collective effort. No, we are also well aware of the media owners and MDs of media houses that he called at the very last minute to ask them to be partners. And some of them asked...
All right, Mr. Alake, but yes, they accused you of being jealous of them.
But I just explained to you that is improbable and impossible. Jealous of what? I just told you that this is the man who is copying our own initiative. Is the man who is copying, the man who is copied to be jealous of the man who is copying? It is incongruous. It makes no sense. It lacks logic. Jealous of what? Oh, jealous of his own style and brand of media operation that is predicated on blackmail, on fraud, on intimidation, on extortion. Is that what you will be jealous or I will be jealous of? No. We have different philosophies of life. We subscribe to different values. The definition of success in this industry is not his own definition. Ours is not a cash and carry journalism. We don't. And everybody in this industry knows what they do there, what he does. And in any case, we said we are not succumbing to this blackmail. That's our offense. And in any case, this thing saying that we are trying to cow the independent press, how? I'm told that somebody said he accused us, or one of us, or any of us, of asking for the sack of one of his anchors. What's his name again? One Rufai, whatever. That is a blatant lie.
Okay.
Nobody, to the best of my knowledge, from our own system, ever called, and I challenge you to call Baigbina and his board of editors to name the person that called them to ask for the sack of anybody in their system, to name the person, the time, when and where, and the proof that somebody called to ask for the sack of any of them. No.
That's a very important clarification you made there. But then they also pointed out that your attacks on their media houses intensified after the publication of the death of one Muiz Adegboyega Akonde on the 18th of November. What's the true story of this matter?
It's also part of their penchant for lies. That is also another blackmail. Why would we attack? How would we attack? Nobody. We are never the aggressors, but we reserve the right to defend and respond vehemently whenever we are dragged unjustifiably or whenever we are attacked. We reserve that right. It's a fundamental human right. We have never been the aggressor in this instance. And I'll tell you how. Everybody in this country, especially those who are well informed of the political happenings and who are current, know that Nduka, Arise, and this day have been rabidly anti-Asiwaju even ever before the primaries. It's common knowledge. We did not fabricate that. So they've been attacking Asiwaju. They've been dragging Asiwaju. You know yourself. Everybody knows that Rice Money program have been dragging Asiwaju every day consistently, as if he owes them money. And that is usually their style. That is the style of their owner, to blackmail you into submission.
All right.
For whatever he wants. And we said, no, we are not going to do that. Now, secondly is this, the town hall meetings that he has been advertising and compelling and blackmailing Asiwaju to attend his town meetings. And we say, no. Number one, you are not the voters of Nigeria. You are not the only medium that is in Nigeria. There are over 100 media houses in Nigeria. So how can you now arrogate to yourself as the spokesperson of the entire Nigerian media? They will confer that status on you. Nobody. You arrogated to yourself for your selfish moves.
Against that background, Mr. Alake.
I have not finished. I have to make this point. It is important. Now, when you ask the question, you let me laugh. Town hall meeting anchors. The anchors of this day town hall and Arise town hall meetings, Ruben Abati is a member of the PDP. Have people gotten selective amnesia? How can, in good conscience, how do you expect Asiwaju of the APC candidate, to present himself to the guillotine, the PDP guillotine machine, anchored by a PDP member, Ruben Abati, to be interviewing Asiwaju? Who does that? Is that a free press? And then you have the temerity and the audacity and the hypocrisy to be saying that, oh, you are fighting for free press, when you yourself are the antithesis of a free press. Abati was deputy governorship candidate to the late Buruji Kashamu in Ogun State, PDP. And meanwhile, you are dragging Asiwaju, and you are trying to link him unsuccessfully, though, to a drug charge in Chicago, when Ruben Abati, your own anchor, was a deputy governorship candidate to a non-indicted and wanted, officially declared wanted drug person, Buruji Kashamu. Abati was his gubernatorial candidate. I mean, the deputy gubernatorial candidate. And it's your own anchor person. Where is the morality here? Where is the public? Where is the shame? How can Abati himself face Nigerians and be pontificating, huffing and puffing, moralizing, when he himself was involved in the $2.1 billion Dasuki Gate, the money meant for the arms purchase for our armed forces against Boko Haram? He was one of the partakers of that bazaar, and he was in the EFCC gulag. These are facts. Also, how can such people come and be moralizing and be calling some people to account when their own closets are filled up? And I heard that they said, oh, because they are not running, their names are not on the ballot. Oh, yes, your name may not be on the ballot, but you are holding a position purportedly in public trust. You are calling people to account on behalf of the public. And when you want to come to equity, you come with clean hands, and your hands are dirty. And you are mouthing tendentious excuses, rationalizations, that because you are not running, oh, because you are not robbing, you are a robber, and then you are sitting in judgment over another alleged robber who has not been ever convicted. And who is their moral compass anyway? But the judge is the moral compass of Arise.
Right, Mr. Alake.
At every point,
at this point, I need to interject because I have more questions for you, and we're running out of time. All right, so your explanation. going by your explanation, the editors also argued that, and I think a lot of Nigerians agree with them, that any candidate aspiring to be president of Nigeria should not shy away from media scrutiny.
I disagree with you. Many Nigerians do not agree with them. I disagree with you vehemently. Which research did you do to come to that conclusion? That is generalization. That is also unprofessional.
All right, so
you cannot echo rumors and innuendos and aspersions and impressions and misperceptions and echo it only. No. Which research shows that most Nigerians agree with them? No. Now, coming to the substance of the issue, we have never said that Asiwaju will not face interview. What we have said is that he will not face a rise interview. And there's no law that compels anybody to face a particular media or a particular medium. No law. Every candidate, every aspirant to any political office deserves or reserves the right to choose his own mode of communicating with his voters or with the Nigerian people. It is arise at this day do not constitute the voting public of Nigeria, and they are not the only media avenues for any candidate. So they do not have right to arrogate themselves to themselves that they should be the medium of communication. No, that's what we are saying. Nobody has silenced. In any case, are they the only media houses in this country? Like I said earlier, there are over 100 media houses in this country. Why are they the only ones that are in contention with Asiwaju? Oh, are they saying they are the only ones that are free? Are they saying all other media houses are not free or are not critical? No. The only difference between them and the other media houses is that those other media houses are critical but professional. But they Arise and Co and the other, they are not. They are critical unprofessionally. They are anchor people, Rufai and Ruben Abati. They editorialize on air. They are not even grounded theoretically in this communication business. I have done radio. I got to the pinnacle. I did television. I got to the pinnacle. I did print. I got to the pinnacle. I did PR, both in the private and public sectors. I've gone through the crucibles of this industry. There is no angle you want to come that you will not meet me there. And they do not even understand, because Abati read theater arts, Rufai Oseni read animal philosophy. They are not grounded in the theoretical framework of journalism or broadcasting for that matter. There are languages, there are concepts and terminologies of broadcasting that, are special to broadcasting as distinct from print. They don't know. You don't inject your own opinion into anchoring on air. You present all sides and allow the public to make their own decisions. But they don't know that. They editorialize, they pontificate, as if that they have a righteous indignation. That is wrong. That is unprofessional. That's what we pointed out to them. And in any case, every of the statements that Bayo Onanuga wrote issued was in reaction to their own blackmailing tactics against our candidate. We had never issued any statement against them as an aggressor. The only statement that I issued wasn't even to this day or Arise. It was to the NBC, Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation or Commission, to report Arise for an unprofessional conduct of broadcasting the fake and forged INEC paper letter purportedly probing Asiwaju. What is there in elementary journalism teaches you that when you get something, you verify. And when you are in doubt, you leave out. They don't understand the nuance, the principle, the norms, the convention, the laws of journalism. That's what we are saying. That's our offense. They are not free. They are the most muzzled press by their owner. And in any case, we have responded. And then we go ahead.
All right. Lastly, before we go, Professor Usman Yusuf from the former NHIS boss described himself as a medical doctor. And he said he was sure your principal's health was not good enough for the job of president. How would you describe that? Professor Usman Yusuf, former NHIS boss.
Right.
Yes.
No, that guy, for crying out loud, has he ever conducted a medical examination on Asiwaju? Has he ever? He's not fit for the job. Doesn't that sound infantile? Doesn't that sound honestly illogical? I don't want to use expletives, but that is downright, it's neither here nor there.
All right.
That's one. Two, still on Yusuf, on the professor guy. I heard he said somewhere that, Asiwaju went to Chatham House, he should have come to speak to them, that some of the governors in the north, he mentioned some of those governors in that interview, that they are not on ground in their states, they cannot deliver their states to Asiwaju, that Asiwaju should come and speak to them. I laughed when I heard he said that, and I saw that as a communicator, as an astute one too, with all sense of modesty. That is a cry for attention. That's a cry for attention. He wants attention. He was just sounding off, blowing hot air. And that's not the first time. The only thing that he's known for or identified with is perhaps if he has been either spokesperson.
All right, Mr. Alake, we're out of time. We're out of time.
Not in the political field at all.
All right, thank you very much. We're definitely out of time. Thank you very much for coming on the program today and for clearing the air on the recent allegation of your party trying to bully the free press. Thank you very much for coming on the program, Mr. Dele Alake.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And that marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. Get in touch with us on Twitter at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke OO using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Join us for the repeat episode at midnight and tomorrow for another edition of Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. I am Olajumoke.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Introducing the new Pressure King Pro from ShopX TV. The amazing 14-in-1 digital pressure cooker that saves you time and money. Want to cook proper meals but can hardly find the time? We all have busy schedules, but hurried lifestyles means meals on the run, maybe even whole weeks with too much processed or fast foods. The amazing ShopX 14-in-1 digital pressure cooker cooks up to 90%